By the time William stood on the marble steps of the Vatican Library, the sky had turned the color of bruised eggplant. The Roman dusk wrapped the city in ancient whispers, a fitting ambience for the secrets he was about to unearth. Dr. William Faulkner, symbologist, professor, and reluctant metaphysicist, was chasing a theory so radical it would be dismissed outright by his peers. Earth was not humanity's cradle, but its cage, a prison planet. He hadn't come to Rome on a whim. An anonymous email had arrived 2 weeks prior. Attached was a single image, a page from a lost Gnostic gospel, the Gospel of Basilides, which most scholars believed was a myth. The passage had been underlined in red, and the Archons sealed the earth with 7 gates, lest the sparks of light remember. It haunted him. The sparks of light matched a recurring motif he'd found scattered across global mythology, an echo suggesting that souls were not native to Earth, but sent here as a sentence. Now, as he descended into the secret catacombs beneath Vatican archives, William was determined to find the missing links between ancient theology, suppressed philosophy, and modern simulation theory. The term prison planet had always been dismissed as science fiction, but William had begun connecting dots others ignored. Babylonian creation myths spoke of gods creating humans from the blood of a rebellious deity. The Gnostics claimed the demiurge, a false god, trapped divine souls in bodies of flesh. The Sumerians wrote of the Anunnaki, celestial jailers enforcing a sentence of forgetfulness. Even the Book of Enoch hinted at a cosmic war and the fall of angelic beings who were then condemned to live among mankind. What if humanity wasn't the product of evolution or divine love, but exile? His research led him to obscure Tibetan scrolls, which referenced the Great Containment, and to Egyptian funerary texts that described Earth as a place of testing and purification, a necessary phase before one's return to the stars. If Earth was a prison, the warden's job was to make you forget you were ever free. The Gospel of Basilides was said to reveal truths so dangerous the early church hunted down and burned every copy. But here, in a temperature-controlled chamber deep in Vatican vaults, William found a copy they weren't able to erase. The Latin translation was crudely done, but the Greek was clearer. An intriguing passage caught his eye. The soul is cast down from the aeons above, bound in flesh and memory. The Archons laugh, for each man worships the chains that bind him. Chains that sounded like the hypnotic effect of mass culture, social programming, and distraction. Robert scribbled notes. Could organized religion, consumerism, even war, all serve as tools of control? He turned to the final page, which bore an emblem, a triangle within a circle, and inside that an eye made of flame. He had seen that symbol before, in a Tibetan monastery, and again in Peru. It was the mark of remembrance, what certain fringe esotericists claimed was an ancient sigil used by souls who had remembered their imprisonment. His next stop was Geneva. William met with Dr. Helena Gruber, a controversial physicist and simulation theory expert. Her research proposed that the universe displayed quantized behaviors that mimicked code, digital laws embedded in space-time. Most physicists dismissed her theory with a condescending eye roll, but the doctor seemed completely unbothered by her colleagues' opinions. Our universe, she said, absently adjusting her wire-rimmed glasses, has error correction, just like a computer file. It's too perfect, and also too flawed. Flawed how? William asked, genuinely interested in Dr. Gruber's theory. Glitches. You've heard of the Mandela effect? He nodded. People misremembering the spelling of Berenstain Bears or remembering Nelson Mandela dying in the 80s when he'd passed away much later. These are data conflicts, William, she said. Remnants of overlapping timelines. These are indicators that this is not base reality. Helena believed that humanity was running inside a containment simulation designed to erase the memory of a soul's true origin. Birth is the upload, she said. Death is the recycle bin. William left her lab with more questions than answers, but one thing was becoming clear. Multiple traditions, mythic, scientific, and esoteric, all pointed toward the same unsettling truth. Earth was a loop, so surely there was an exit? He decided Istanbul, with its wealth of enigmatic ruins, fascinating museums, and ancient mosques, might have the answers for his many questions. William visited the Hagia Sophia, searching for an artifact known as the Shard of Malkuth, believed to be a fragment of an ancient tablet destroyed during the burning of the Library of Alexandria. The local guide, an old Sufi mystic named Amir, led him behind a crumbling wall in the chilly subterranean ruins beneath the former church. "You seek the gates?" Amir whispered, his eyes intense and searching. William nodded. "The gates are not of iron, my friend." Amir shook his head. "They are of belief, of identity. To leave this prison, you must first stop thinking you are a prisoner." The two men walked deep into the underground ruins of the ancient church. Amir led him down a hallway with a beautiful arched roof, adorned with now indecipherable paintings. At the end of the hall, a stone slab about 2 feet across lay on the ground in front of them. Amir knelt and gently ran his finger across a black stone, inlaid in the center of the slab. It was etched with 7 concentric rings, each inscribed with a name in Enochian script. William translated, "Ego, fear, time, flesh, memory, desire, identity." "They are locks," Amir said cryptically. "We wear them like clothing." William touched the center of the black stone and for a moment felt lighter, as if a curtain had been pulled back to reveal we are the ones adding weight to our own shoulders. William was finally shown what the anonymous email sender wanted him to see when he visited his next stop, a safe house in Morocco. The document in question was allegedly smuggled from a secret UN archive in Geneva. It was labeled the Lucifer Protocol. The file described a psychological operation initiated in 1947, shortly after the Roswell incident, suggesting contact had been made, not with aliens, but with a sentient intelligence from outside the simulation. The being, dubbed Lucifer by the military brass, claimed that Earth was a correctional program designed to rehabilitate violent souls. Lucifer offered a map, not of physical geography, but a path of mental and spiritual liberation, a step-by-step unraveling of the mind's bindings. It read like a meditation manual married to a software developer's debug protocol. "Awareness breaks the code," it said. "The moment you realize the lock exists, it begins to rust." The last line chilled William as he read it over several times. Only 1 in a million makes it out. Most love their chains too much. Now back in the United States, William rented a cabin deep in the Mojave Desert. Needing answers, he began following the Lucifer Protocol, not knowing if it was real or the product of an elaborate prank. He wanted answers, so he fasted and meditated, confronting the pain of his past. He questioned every belief, every fear, every desire he'd ever had. He imagined his ego crumbling like sandstone under the harsh desert sun. On the 7th day, something shifted. The desert turned quiet, unsettlingly quiet. In the distance, he heard a hum, not with his ears, but in his bones. The stars above shimmered and danced as if they were watching the scene unfolding before him. And then, as the hum intensified, he felt himself detach from thought, from time, from self. He was nothing but pure awareness. And in that moment, he saw the simulation's grid, the scaffolding of a false reality woven of light and rule. And just beyond it, a doorway. He didn't give himself time to think, he just stepped through. The cabin was empty when the authorities found it. Food sat on the table untouched. Next to it was a notebook filled with cryptic diagrams and questions. William Faulkner had completely vanished. Or perhaps he had finally escaped. Some say he was abducted. Others say he lost his mind. But a fringe community online, calling themselves the Returners, believe he succeeded. They follow his notes, his steps, hoping to reach the doorway themselves. And sometimes, when the veil is thin, a flicker appears in their peripheral vision. A man in a worn brown jacket, smiling, beckoning, waiting to show them the way out. Have you ever had an out-of-body experience, or seen walls of code? What happened both during and after the experience? Tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.